You can't beat a cup of tea. Oh, smashing. It's Friday. Yes, it's that Friday indeed. Yes, it is. Even with a nice cup of tea. Oh yes, that Friday feeling once again is back in a place, and we are here ready to build something. Oh yes, indeed. The Western Lysander, Tony Nijhuis's lovely design. Unfortunately, I'm building it, but that's okay. It's all good because we are the glass half full, not half empty, and it is full of positivity. Yes, that Friday feeling today on this wonderful build. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? So, where are we at? Well, there you go. We've got the stuck together with obviously that's bowed a bit for some reason. Don't ask me why. You see a bit of bow on there. I don't know why that's done, but yeah, it's. I try to hold it all together, but that should straighten out because we're going to be putting the formers on there in a minute anyway. But that's got the right hand thrust, which I had a bit of a senior moment, should we say, last week. Or should I say the week before. I did break it where I was pushing this down on the angle. It broke here, and here. Yes, but that's all glued back together. Probably stronger than ever now. I did use for the front, as good old George from Formax was saying, that the front and obviously the side here I used 30-minute epoxy, so it's even stronger. And then the rest I'm using just my favourite Rocket Rapid. Yes, my Rocket Rapid super glue. So we've got to put the formers on now. We're saying about putting this on the jig, but it's really hard to put it on the jig when you've got the round formers. Yeah, so to try and get it straight, I'll show you these, because all these formers are going to be, if I show you this, it slips on. So this top section here fits into these grooves, and then the whole box section, so it kind of holds it into place. And then obviously you just need to get it right. So now what I've done on the drawing underneath here, if I just move this out of the way for a second, what I did on the drawing is I used my calipers and I measured from they're not hatches and they're not windows, so I just call them windows. So I would call it, what are we going to call it, a hole in the fuselage? I don't know. Anyway, a hole. So I'm going to call these windows. So please, I only call them windows because that's how my brain works. So what I've done from the edge of the window to the edge of the former, measured it, and then measured it on these on here. Now I don't know if you'll be able to see this because it's in pencil. I suppose I could actually come up a bit, and don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. I don't know. But here we got like F2, F3, and that's the back edge. F4, F5, F6, F7, F9, F10, F8 is no, sorry, F8. It's F7 that misses, I think. Yeah, F7 misses. I think F7 is the slanted back one there that we'll do afterwards when we start putting in the lovely stringers. Yeah, so this is where I am. So that seems to be solid. And I have taken out all the inserts. Inserts, that's what we call them. Inserts, not windows. They just look like, don't you think they look like windows? I think they do. So I've taken out the inserts and everything else, and obviously so this is F8, as you can see. And we're just going to slip them on and see how they fit. Yeah, F4 and F5 are the wing bearers, if that's a ring, no wing, wing bearers, we're not getting married, which sit like that on top, so they become, I don't know really why they wasn't lasered as one, to be honest with you, it's a bit weird, but anyway, because they're two different types of wood as well, I would have just made them one section, but maybe it's something to do with, so if you have a crash then it just breaks there rather than breaks the whole fuselage. I don't know, and there's probably a way for it. So I need to make sure that these are as flat as possible, because also, which I found highly strange, is the attachment points that when they're in the lasered are here and here, where you think they'd do two attachment points here, so then they know that'd be laser straight. See, on the bottom one they didn't put the attachment points here, but they did here, which to me is a bit, yeah. Right, so anyway, what I should have done the other day as well, when I was flattening the edges, I actually forgot this little tip, the little top tip, that George from Formax told me, because if you use the Power Grip tools, they're absolutely fantastic. They've got this little ridge, and if you've got two mats, and I just held these together with clips because that is the straight line across the bottom mat, then that fits there, and it doesn't touch the match. It chafers off whatever's you put on here. So when you put some wings, you'd normally put, if you're joining two wings together, you put both sit on here. Make sure you're using the straight line here, and then sand them down. Yeah, and you get a straight line. So this is going to be a bit more different because you haven't got really lots of straight lines. So I could just push it against there, and then just push just a bit more, and then just a fraction more. Seeing that I'm getting a straight edge on there, make sure that I'm not going sort of weird or over, should I say. And then that gives me a nice flat edge, and that's I need probably a bit more, because I can still feel that sort of, no, in fact I don't think I can, but I'm going to anyway. You know, try not to just put a fraction there. They're literally fractions. So there you go, and at least I know then I'm going to get, so that's F4. So this F4 is fine because that had an edge. So if they go together, as you can see, probably, hopefully, there's no gap. Okay, let's stop that jiggery pokey. In fact, let's not stop that jiggery pokey. Let's get the jig out. Yes, you got the jig. I've been putting this together because otherwise, if I put it together while I was chatting to you lovely people, we'd probably be here for the rest of the century. So basically, what I've done is I've made sure that it's level there, just about. I need to smooth it. It moved. Why did it move? He says. There you go. So if I do that, that'll put, yeah. So that's level there, and these are level at the back. They are indeed. So I know it's not twisted, because it seems like it's got a bit of a twist in it. But I think once I put all the formers on, which has really annoyed me because I've only got one former here when I should have put both on. So now and then I have to take the jig apart again and see together. But this would be the best way really, because there's no real straight edge. I mean, when this is level, the top is straight, so that's okay. So I could use that to measure, but I've already measured from the inserts, the removable inserts. Oh, I don't know what you call them, windows. So I've got like where the formers need to be on the back edge, but it's just because if you look at this, you can't really see it, I don't think, but because it's a bit of a crappy shot. I'm looking into getting the little cameras so we can get mega shots, but that's to come, so stand by on that one. The former itself is a bit sort of like backwards on itself, and yeah. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the right angle to there, and then I'm going to sort of clamp it there so it doesn't move. And then I'm going to push this back to it, so I've got both edges. And then what I'm going to do, I'm hoping you can't really see it, can you? Let's move the camera. There you go, that's a bit better, huh? We can now see on the overhead cam what I'm looking at, and I think I'm fully zoomed in. Right, so as you can see, it's still a bit of an angle, but this is the only, obviously I can't go for the front edge because you've got the adjustments on there for the motor. For the thrust angle. Oh yes, thrust. Do you like that word? Thrust angle. And that, so there's not many edges that we've got. Well, I can see anyway, because I'm not an expert builder by any means, that I can have a right angle on. So then you know exactly when they need to go. Now I've got my measurements from, as we said, that I'm calling the windows. Excerts, inserts that you take out becomes excerts. I don't know. There's a special name for them. Leave it in the comments, because something else I can learn. Anyway, so what I've done is that, remember, I've gone on the back edge, so I've measured to the back edge, so this edge from the window. So I've got the line on the back edge here, and then I'm going to I have put a right angle. I'm not going to put angle. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to almost like spot welding really. I'm going to spot weld a bit of Rocket Rapid, and then spray it so it dries immediately. I'm going to do the same with the top. So then I've got 2 points of spot welding before you weld. I mean, I don't know if anybody's welded. I used to be a welder many years ago. Used to work in mechanical engineering. I know, that's probably why I'm still not there now. Couldn't measure. You should have seen what I did on a lathe. Oh my golly gosh. Anyway, enough about that. Spot welding, so you do 2 spots, I mean, the reason you spot weld on a bit of metal so it doesn't buckle, because if you start to weld, it will move and buckle and everything else. So you spot weld it and then you do the seam weld. So I'm going to, but this is just so I can get it straight. So I'm going to spot weld that, and then what I'm going to probably do is, because I'm not going to do it live, I can't do it live. I'll try and do as much as I can live. This sort of thing is intense, and I don't need to worry about camera angles. If I had someone else helping me, they could be filming me while I'm doing it, but I don't. Well, yes. It had to happen. I don't know why. I just had that feeling. I had the feeling in my waters this morning, yes. I've done a boo-boo. Yes, this is the drawing, actually, because I've got 2 drawings. And I hung one up. And I hung it up late last night, I think. Because I did actually finish gluing this the other day. Last night, sorry. So we're back to the fuselage again. You're saying, oh Chris, so where's all your ribs and bits and pieces? Well, they're kind of here and here. No, stop it. I've... Right, one of these is smaller, shorter. As you can see, if there, I think you can just about see it shorter. The shorter one should go on the right hand side, as says in the manual. Now I was gluing this so it was sitting up like that. So of course, right hand side, oh yeah, I'll stick to the right hand side. Not thinking that basically the right hand side is as you're sitting in plane, right hand side. So the left hand side is on the left hand, right hand side, and right hand side is on the left hand side. What implications does that say? Well, the windows don't line up, the little holes, for a start, and they should do. Because obviously one side's shorter for the thrust angle. I have epoxied these in because obviously that's the front where the engine's going to be, and obviously I have glued this in, and then half of this is, that half is epoxy and this half is super glue. Oh dear. But hey ho, I didn't fail. No, come on, glass half full. I just found a way how not to build a Lysander fuselage. Wrong way. Yes, tick. Won't do that again. You know, I was actually chatting to George from Formax, and I say, no, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And he says that, you know, I could take it along, and myself and Colin will chop it up. It's not going to, as I said, it's not going to be pretty, but you're not going to see this anyway because of all the formers go on the outside, and then he's got stringers, and then cover it, balsa covering. You're not going to see this. This is kind of the core, and this is why I try to get the core correct, because everything builds from this. So if you're out here, you're going to be out everywhere. So yeah, lucky enough, I saw my mistake before I put the rest of the formers in. It's a shame I didn't see the mistake before I put this in, because now I've got to try and debond it and see if I can get it off. The other way is to get some bits of ply maybe and use the cutouts, because I still keep the cutouts and bits and pieces, and get some of that wood and make some new ones. Or worst comes to the worst, speak to Slack and say, yeah, hi, have you got any of these spare laying around on the floor that you don't want, and you could give me maybe for free? Yeah, alright. So yeah, so I do apologise. It's probably been what, 10 minutes or something like that. That's 10 minutes you'll never get back in life. But my idea was sound, measuring. But what I should have done is basically offered this up to on the plans, and then draw the lines of the formers, and done that to both sides. Because if I did that to both sides, I would have recognised my issue. So I've started off on the wrong foot, but that's okay, because then I'll carry on. I'm sorry if that's whiting out a bit. I might have to post-production change that. But what a poo bum. What a sausage. Yeah, so I'm a bit stuck. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of cutting to be done and a lot of redoing. But you're not going to see all that again. I'll get that finished. And if it's not done by next week, then we'll start building the wings. Anyway, listen, it looks like the weather's changing in the UK, which is fantastic. And anywhere in the whole wide world, if you're getting out there with some RC, planes, trains, cars, you name it, whatever, quads, get out there. But be safe and keep safe, and most of all, have fun. I'm still having fun, and I'm learning. I'm learning to, you know, take a step back and read a bit. We've all been there, I'm sure you're saying. Yeah, I think I've been there a couple of times now. But anyway, it's all good. I'm still having fun with Balsa. So, you have a fantastic time, and thanks for popping by. And come back next week to see what other mayhem's going on. And once again, apologies, it's such a short movie. But, yeah, there's not much more I can do today. Listen, thanks for popping by. Ta-ra now. Bye-bye.